have a interview coming up next Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Alien Addict with Jeff from Ghostech Paranormal Investigation. I've seen a few of this guy's videos. I've seen him on Alien Addict before, and he's like, I would say he's the most legit out of the whole bunch out there. He does good work. So I think he's going to be interviewing me on Ali's channel about what's going on in my apartment. But that should be definitely fun. I sent Jeff some of my footage, my shadow people footage, and stuff like that. So I'm thinking they're going to do like a live investigation, is what I believe. So this is the thumbnail for the show I'll be on. Also, I believe Jeff from Ghostech Paranormal Investigations is from the UK as well. I've seen him on Ali's channel a few times. He's a cool guy. He seems, he's like one of those people who's not out for the money or the fame. He just does his work. I can definitely respect that.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to a very delicious evening on Alien Addict. I've got myself a nice little Lucasade. But anyway, enough of what I'm drinking, because nobody needs to know that. We have Ghostech Paranormal in the house with Wreaking Havoc 215. Now, the story behind this is I interviewed John quite a few months back, last year, and he went through his story. And Jeff has been on the channel as well, speaking about his channel, Ghostech Paranormal, but without me, because I'm really crap at doing these intros. I'm just going to bring the guys on to just say hello. So, Jeff, how we doing, my friend?
Hi, Ollie. Yeah, all good, thank you.
And we got John in the house, Wreaking Havoc.
How you guys doing?
Hi, John.
So this is going to be a little bit of a different one for me, because I'm going to kind of take a little bit of a back burner and let you two just go at it. But John, your story, for anybody that doesn't know it, is in the description below. Jeff, your channel's in the description. John, I'll add your channel, because I know you've got a channel now. I keep forgetting about that. I'll add that in the description. But we've got about an hour before Jeff has to disappear, and I may stay on with you for a little bit longer. But to cut a long story short, John, you have had years and years of strange goings on. It started with an alien sighting. Jeff has seen the interview. He's aware of the story. Jeff, I'm going to let you take it away, my friend. I'm going to shut up because we haven't got long.
Okay. Yeah, John, obviously we've never met before. I've seen some of your footage that you sent through to me. Just interestingly, I believe that you said on an interview that it started for you back in 1995 when you was 15. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And is that in the same place where you're sitting now?
No, I've lived many places in between, but the activity has kind of followed me as I've moved from place to place.
So when you was 15, when it first started, I take it, was you living in, was you living with your parents in a house, or?
Yeah, we're living in a twin house.
So did your parents ever have anything weird going on before it started happening to you?
They never mentioned anything. They've never mentioned anything, and I still have never spoken to them. They don't know about any of this right now.
I'm just wondering if, that could be an interesting point, that maybe they haven't spoken about it or said anything, but maybe something had happened to them when it obviously, and then it started happening to you. That's what sort of got me thinking. So that would be really interesting to find out if your parents had any sort of paranormal stuff going on whatsoever, and maybe they didn't believe it, or maybe they just kept quiet. And have you told them about your experiences?
I have not. And recently I've been trying to find the right opportunity to do that, but they have a lot of stuff going on, especially with this COVID thing. Their stress levels are pretty high. So I'm kind of waiting for everything to calm down because I don't want to stress my parents out even more. My mom has like high anxiety right now, so I don't want them to worry about me, So I want to do it as soon as possible, but I have to wait till everything's like kind of calm.
Okay. So So what's happening to you is that you're seeing shadow figures. You filmed them. The sheets on your bed have moved. You're getting orbs of light. You've been on a few shows explaining that. I believe that Alien Addict was your first radio broadcast that you've done. Is that correct?
Yep. So first.
Yeah.
So what do you think is happening? Do you actually think it's paranormal, as in ghost spirits, or do you actually think it's something else, as in an alien encounter? But what do you think it is?
I think it's all of the above. I think it's everything.
Because it's going to be hard to sort of mix in, ghost spirits, paranormal, that type of thing, and alien visitation, all in one thing. That's I've never heard of that before.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much what's going on. Like in 95, when I saw the aliens and I was abducted, that's like concrete. Like that definitely happened. But that was the first time I ever experienced anything. And that kind of flipped the switch for all the paranormal stuff to start happening, So
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that. So you're saying you believe that you were abducted?
Yeah, for 100% for sure when I was 15, and I'm pretty confident it's been happening ever since. I've been waking up with marks on my body and stuff. I still have a scar to this day. I believe it's something I'm still dealing with now, plus the paranormal stuff on the side.
John, briefly, I know Jeff's watched the interview, but if you just explain the story quite quick, because we are struck for time. But if you can kind of like give him the gist of exactly what happened that night.
Okay. Basically, my parents went on vacation and gave me the option to stay home by myself. So I did. That night, I go into my bedroom. My bed starts shaking and levitating, and then it drops. And then a couple seconds later, I see two aliens looking in my window at me. And then I see two pairs of legs walking to the outside of my closed bedroom door. I throw my sheets over my head because I was just terrified. And I woke up the next day face down on my couch with a big scab on my back and my shorts on backwards. It's the best way I can quickly sum that up.
So why do you think it was alien?
I seen them. I was like 4 to 5 feet away. I mean, I was staring in their eyes for like good 30, 45 seconds. Like it was clear as day to me.
And what, the typical alien gray as they're described?
Typical alien gray, but slightly on the brownish side, had like a brown tint, but feature-wise, typical gray.
Yeah, I mean, you may be, one of those people that's sensitive and open to these sort of things, and you attract everything, Are you scared of, maybe you might be hurt or attacked?
The only thing that scares me still is if I see aliens again. Everything else doesn't bother me. It might bother me for like 10 minutes or something, but it's nothing that actually affects me. Like, that the alien thing is like something I can't shake. Everything else is just kind of cool, but it might be scary for a couple minutes, but it's nothing that affects me over time.
Yeah, I mean, people have different sort of explanations of shadow shadow beings. I mean, you've got several pieces of film of shadow figures moving. Was that taken in the apartment that you're living in now?
Yep. Yeah, before last summer, I never recorded or took a picture of anything. It never crossed my mind. Since talking to Ali, I've kind of opened up a little bit and tried to investigate what's going on in my life. And recently I've been taking pictures and doing all the recording and documenting as much as I can.
Yeah. So you're setting up cameras now constantly, and just letting them roll, and you're hoping, maybe you can capture, a proper figure on film that you believe to be alien. Have you ever tried talking to them yourself? Have you ever sat down where you are and tried asking questions and seeing if you get any answer back?
To the aliens or the shadow people?
To anything that's there.
I thought,
or does that worry you?
This might be hard to explain, but I think if I reach out and try to communicate with these beings, they're definitely going to communicate back very quickly. I try to avoid that. Everything I've gone through, I feel like they're waiting for me to make a move almost. So me trying to contact these beings, I would have to be prepared for anything after that point. And I'm not quite there yet, but I'm working on it, because this is something I've been dealing with my whole life. It's not going to go away. I can't avoid it. I have to get to a point where I accept it, and I'm close to accepting it, because someone I talked to on Facebook recently had a good point. Like, they're going through the same thing. She said, like, if you face your fears, you can almost look at it as an adventure in some type of way and not so traumatic. I'm trying to get over that hump, but if I did contact them, there would definitely, I feel there'd definitely be a response. So I'm kind of wary of it, but it's something I'll have to do at some point.
So how would you feel if I was to do a live EVP session with you using your microphone, and also if it's possible for you to let me speak through your speakers without you sitting in front of that microphone, and let me ask some questions, have it recorded, and then that piece of recording I will then put into a wave pad and stick on my headphones and enhance it and see if there's any answers to my questions. How would you feel about that?
I have no problem with that at all. So you need me to have your voice coming through my speakers, correct?
Yep, so they can hear what I'm saying. All I'd like you to do is have me coming through your speakers. Hopefully there won't be any feedback with your microphone. Okay. For you to take a seat over in the corner of the room. I'll record it. I'll ask a few questions, and then I'll convert it and then stick it on a stick, put it in my wave pad, and I'll enhance it to see if there's any voices coming back. Okay. So
let me switch to my speaker.
Jeff, should I put my mic on mute?
Yeah, when we do this, let me just bring up my recording equipment. Just bear with me 1 second. So I'm recording now. As I say, what I want to do is ask a few questions. Once that's done, I'll take that recording, convert it, stick it onto a USB, plug it into the wave pad, and super enhance it, stick on my headphones, and then I'd like Ollie to take over with the interview while I go through that, and that'll be done live. And if there are any voices, maybe we can find out who or what this is.
Before I go mute, Jeff, just because of some of the problems we've had with StreamYard, are you going to be putting this interview on some of this on your channel? If you discover anything.
Well, I'll put this interview on our channel anyway because of John to tell his story. So
that's awesome, because all I'm worried about is if for some reason I can't get the EVP played live, you can obviously do the edit yourself and sort that out. So guys, if it doesn't work tonight in the live chat, technically wise, it will be there on Jeff's side.
If we capture any voices on here after I've gone through it, we'll find a way.
You'll re-edit.
I'll plug this into speakers and I'll turn it up if it's the last thing we do, because I know there can be problems with trying to play things on here. So that's not a problem. So John,
on my end, I'm ready to go. I'm going to step out of the room because.
Am I coming through your speakers?
Yes. And my microphone is on.
Have you got the microphone up as loud as it can go, as it can pick up? Obviously, we don't want feedback through the speakers.
Yeah, the microphone should be fine. I have it pointed away from my laptop, so there should be no feedback.
Okay, see where it's pointing up. Can you tilt it so it's pointing outwards into the room? If that's easy to do.
Okay, I think that's good right there.
Okay, cheers, John. Thank you.
Shit myself, a cat just hissed behind me. Right, I'm going to put myself on mute.
Okay, so Ollie's going on mute, so that just leaves the mic at John's end recording. Okay. If you can hear me, can you tell me your name, please? Why are you here in the house? Did you live in the house? Are you trying to contact John? Where are you from? Is John in any danger? Do you want to harm John? How many of you are there inside the house? Is there something John can do to help you? Okay, we'll end that. Okay,
Does it matter?
I just read out 8 questions. So let's let John get himself sorted there. What I'm going to do now, I'm just going to stop the recording. And
all right, I'm good to go.
Okay, John, I've just done the recording. I read out 8 questions there, and I'm now just going to convert the recording. It needs converting, so that shouldn't take a moment. Once it's done, I'm just going to put it on a USB stick and stick it straight into this WavePad and see if there's anything there whatsoever. Just see if it wants to reply. One of my questions, are you trying to contact John? And we'll see if there's anything whatsoever. Maybe they come and go at different visitation times. We don't know. As I say, this is the first time that I've ever done anything like this on a live show. So okay, Ollie, if you can just take over the interview, please, bud.
No,
and I'll sort this out.
But
with Jeff, like the shadow figure, and these we were talking about it before and for anybody that's not seen the episode on Ghostech Paranormal, it is in the description. And I think this is Petworth Chapel, but Jeff did as he's taking the pictures, and you can actually see this live. Him actually taking the pictures on the video, and we get a shadow figure on there. Now, but for anybody who just would see that but not see the channel, you'd think you've got to be kidding me, because that is kind of too good to be true. You look at that and you think, holy shit.
Well,
what the hell is that?
Everyone's natural reaction is try to think of the most logical reason to explain it. Of course, I've heard, like I shared my my good footage with this paranormal group in my area. These are all ex-military. They're all they all were together in the military. They do a paranormal thing.
In the house. How many of you are there inside the house?
Yeah, no, what was saying though is that you would think that is far-fetched, that footage, but when you look at the channel Ghostech Paranormal, some of the episodes there's nothing being seen whatsoever, but then there's the odd one that you get these. So it's not like every single episode. So I want people to go check out Ghostech Paranormal and check out your channel. I will add it to the description.
That's why I respect what he does in his crew, because they're not like, they just present what they find. There's no extra BS in there. If they go in somewhere and find nothing, they show you that. They're not trying to put on a production. They're not trying. To me, it seems like they're not trying to be entertaining. They're in there doing the job.
Hey guys, I've gone through the recording of what we just done. We got a couple of voices.
I did not expect that.
I'm just trying to work out now how I'm going to play them to you.
I mean, you could try, if you send me it as a video file, Jeff. I can download it and share it.
Where do I need to send it to, Ollie?
Just send it to my email, Alien Addict.
Right, hold on a sec.
If not, we'll try and play them out loud.
So what I've done was I listened to the whole lot. We had 2 voices there, so I've just basically split it and just pieced it together.
Okay. Hopefully there are positive answers.
Okay, it says it's been sent to you, Ollie. As I say, it's not the full recording. I've gone through and I've cut and just spliced them together. So there's going to be 2 voices on there.
So is that just that one file, yeah, Jeff?
Just the one file. It's me asking some questions, well, 2 questions, and there's 2 voices that are speaking after 1 word, 2 words. I've done my best at doing it as quickly as I can. Usually I'd spend a lot more time filtering out background noises, that sort of thing. So this is pretty sort of raw.
I'm pretty amazed that this is even possible to do like this.
It's never been done like this before. I've never. This is the first time I've done it. So
I'm glad to be a part of this. I was telling Ali, in my apartment, like around 6 a.m. is where the activity is like really, really heavy. That might be like 11 a.m. your time. But if there's a time that we really wanted to tackle this, I would have to leave my apartment because that's usually how it works. Like when I leave, the orbs it looks like it's snowing in here sometimes. But something like that could be set up.
Can you hear that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Can the guys in the chat hear that? Let me know in the chat if you can hear that.
Why are you here in the house? How many of you are there inside the house?
So other than the EVP, so what do you think's going on then, Jeff, with John?
First of all, I'd be really interested to find out that when this all started happening with John, when he was 15, if his parents had anything whatsoever happen to them and they just kept quiet about it and said, we don't believe in that sort of thing, or they just pushed it aside and said, we don't want to know, that would be really interesting to find out their side of the story, if there's any story whatsoever. And also the other possibility is that John, from where he was a small child growing up, he's just become really open to everything. I mean, with myself doing paranormal investigations and stuff, I've become open to it over many, many years, where I can now walk into a place and I just know if something's off, something's not right. And that's taken time of doing this sort of thing. When you do this sort of thing, you do leave yourself open for these sort of things. So with myself, as I say, it's taken a long time to know this sort of thing and to sort of get your feelings involved in a place. It sort of comes to you. But maybe with John, as a small child, as he's grown up, he's quite sensitive to this sort of thing. And when you become sensitive to this sort of thing, it all just comes to you. It can be, spirits, ghosts, and anything that's around there. He's drawing everything in. And maybe that is what's actually happening.
Thank you, Jeff. And thanks for doing this.
No, it's been a good evening. John, I'll be in contact with you constantly. If you need me, please do email me, whatever you need to do. It's been a great evening. And hopefully we can get even more answers for you. Ollie, once again, thank you for having me on the show.
No worries, mate. Anytime. You know that.
Brilliant. Okay, guys. So I'd like to thank you all so much. Got to go. Have a good evening.
You too, mate. I'll catch you later, Jeff.
Thank you so much. Take care. All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.